There we go. That's the right one. Hello, folks. How are we all doing today? Hello, Amiga Runs. How are you? Rumpelstiltskin. Welcome, and anybody else who is in chat, glad to have you here. So yeah, we'll be doing some speed runs shortly. Last week we did a little bit with some AI messing around. We'll continue with a little bit of that today. But first, I wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to some things that have been happening in the community lately. I don't know if this will become a regular thing, but we'll see. But just wanted to highlight a couple of adventure game speedrunning news over the past week or so. So, as many of you may know, I had a video come out last week on Saturday that was about Space Quest 2. And as sometimes happens, those games do get a little bit of a boost because people are reminded that they actually exist and that you can do speedruns of them. So very shortly after that video came out, we got a brand new first place tied world record at 1 second by Volty Squirrel. Let's watch this real quick. We'll skip forward here a little bit. Should be absolutely thrilling. Let's see here. Actually, maybe I need to refresh this because I believe that they have this started. Oh yeah, back here is where it is. There you go.
We did it.
122 there. So congratulations to Volty Squirrel. That was thrilling. Yes, Veritas Truth Seeker. Hey Sam. Mario movie's about to start, so I'll have to watch later. Okay, perfect. Yes. Enjoy the movie. I'm going to see if I can take my kids to that next weekend. So there was that. We also had another any percent, not a world record, but by Totem, who if you follow any of the LucasArts speedrunning scene, you may recognize. We'll watch part of this, and we'll see what strats he did. I think there's some room for improvement on this one a little bit, but
Okay, pretty cool. So this is going to be my first blind playthrough of this game. Blind speedrun any percent. It is my first playthrough and it is blind because I haven't played the game before. My name is... And... Okay.
what is
so, I believe this goes something like this. Okay. So first we take a look around, very important. The broom is flying away, okay. That's okay. Oh, that's... Okay, I got confused for a second there.
So that's a little bit of a
sense,
time save you could do in the future is go
interesting.
straight up there as opposed to wandering a little bit to the side.
Oh.
A little unfortunate there. But it is his first time running the game, so we can possibly forgive
away,
that.
Apparently. Cool verb. We already got one score for just... Okay. Good to know. Okay, so we have this suit here. Okay. Oh, got another score. Okay, that's pretty good progress. Maybe we can... Okay. We don't even need to do anything. This is actually great gameplay. Yep. Right. Not sure what I have to do, but I'm working through it. So, okay. We're up here now. Okay, that's probably enough. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, I think that's a pretty good time for my first playthrough.
That's just
I think
beautiful.
I'm in the top 10
So,
or so. So I'm pretty.
yep. So 146 by Totem. And I noticed in Totem's description, yes, he did type cheat, so he's not going to get the yeet this time. So even though this is a 9th place run, I think obviously there's some room for improvement there, but that's a good first attempt for sure. And for some reason, so he says that the operating system was Windows and the game genre was fantasy and comedy, and then it won the monthly AGS competition. And then gives a description that's surprisingly similar to a game called Owl's Quest. So he might be using a different version of Space Quest, some kind of mod or mashup. I don't know if that's leaderboard legal or not, but there you go. So there's the any percent runs. In more serious news, we do have Santa Claus with a new any percent no cheat record. And so we won't. Oh God, Cedric in space. Yeah, so we will not watch this whole thing, but this is what actual skill looks like in one of these AGI games, where he's just very fast at typing, very much ping ponging all over the place because of setting it to the fastest speed, and the game's unthrottled. Now, in this case, I do want to point out, if you've played the game before, there's kind of a tricky part with navigating like these monster tentacle vines, and in the any percent category, you can do a little bit of sort of a glitch to get past that. It goes really fast. So yeah, there it is. So normally, if you don't have some berries in this game and you try to go here, you get kind of eaten by some kind of swamp monster. But if you zip down there and then are fast enough to get over, then you don't have to do that. But this still takes an incredible amount of skill to pull off well. So he got a 622 there, and then he mentions in here that this was an improvement over a 717. And there's a 55-second time save with that comes from command and routing optimizations, and then also more risky strategies like the YOLO plunger, which I do not know what that is. I can't. It's been a long time since I've played this. Is the plunger the part in the bathroom at the end? I don't know what that is, but good job for him. And then, of course, Santa also getting the 100% new world record. And so I just want to show you how difficult or how good, I guess, he is at navigating this. This is, I'm sure with practice, it's not as bad. But in a second, you'll see the kind of monster vine, these things. So if you touch any of those by even a pixel, you are dead. Your game is over. Hey, ZZZ Zerful, welcome. So yeah, Santa's really good at this. This takes practice. And normally when playing this casually, you were going much slower and like saving every 5 seconds or so. But this is, I didn't, maybe he saved, maybe he didn't. I think that's a no save. But so yeah, you do that, and you have to do that to get the berries to rub on yourself so that you do not get eaten by a monster here. Technically, he doesn't have to do that, but this is the any percent category of the 100% category of the game. So he needs all the points. That's why. Frog50 Animation, welcome. Happy to have you here. So yeah, so there was that. Congratulations to him. Also, with Santa Claus, I want to give a shout out for running. This is a game called Mad Dog Williams, and he has been going hard on this. Now, I am not familiar with this game at all, but it's something, and you get some wonderful jumpy jumps there, and glitches like this where you apparently can go through walls, and apparently it's very prone to crashing. But he has been grinding this one out for if it feels like months. It may be less than that. But he recently got a new 1253, and I think if I went into Discord, I think he got an even newer one recently. So congrats to him on that. This game looks kind of like a trip, and there's just a lot of glitches to it, and like here I don't know exactly what's going on. I gotta love the music too, by the way. Hold on, listen to this. So he goes over here to the bar stool and somehow leaves while staying there. I don't know how that works. I'll have to dive into this at some point because this looks sounds like dial-up. Absolutely. So there's that. In other news, the game list for SGDQ 2023 came out, and there are a number of classic adventure games that are on that list that are being run, and some from people in our little community here. So David TK, I got Stair Quest in, which I think is amazing. You should check that out if you haven't. It's a sort of tribute to old AGI games, kind of like what you just saw with the maze there with the monster vines. But it's like that, but every screen is like that, where if you make the wrong move, you fall off. It's really, it's hard to do it as quickly as he does it. We've also got Loom being run at SGDQ, and, big congrats to Frozen Spade for getting Curse of Monkey Island in. Obviously, big figure in the community, founder of Speedy Adventures, and has been trying to get that in or any of the Monkey Islands for a while. MC Escher's Stair Quest. Yeah, actually, there is one level in that, if anyone's played, that's sort of like an MC Escher level. And then I'm not familiar with this person, but it is an adventure game, so it's the NES Maniac Mansion also got in as well. So congratulations to all of those people. Speaking of speaking of Monkey Island, this happened just the other day. I'm not sure if it's verified yet or not, but the Wolves, who you might, let's see here, I might need to move myself here, who you might remember from my Monkey Island video, got a new world record in Monkey Island 2 by 1 second. Oh, it's verified now? Awesome. So let's just watch the end of this and bask in the glory of it.
Well, yeah, if I had 17 seconds, this would be much different, wouldn't it? I can't deny that. I'm not looking for 17 seconds. I'm kind of looking just for one. One would be good. Okay, PB, let's go.
So you notice there, so it on the splits it says 31:22.11, but it was retimed to a 21.8 because there's a little bit of lag between your finger, your brain telling your finger to hit the button and otherwise. So there we go. Yeah, Spade had the previous world record, and I did notice that Spade went live not too long ago, and so. Yes, there we have that. So we'll see what comes of it. But congrats to the Wolves, and good luck to Spade and anybody else running. Last bit of news that I wanted to share. He was in chat not too long ago, but I have to give a lot of credit to Samuel Stokes, who is a Conquest of the Longbow Runner, which is the game that we are going to be playing today. And the Twitch tracker doesn't always show all the streams, which is frustrating. But one thing you have to understand, is this your new content adventure speedrun news? I don't know how often I'll do this, but I felt like doing it today because there were some cool things that happened this week. So maybe on the occasions when I stream, I'll point this out. but Sam has been just on the grind with this. And one thing you have to remember is that like people in our corner of the speedrunning world aren't like when you think of very visible speedrunners, you know, and like people who stream full time and speedrun, you expect them to be doing it every, you know, a lot. But in our corner of the world, typically what will happen is someone will grind something for a little bit and then take a break and move on to something else. And then maybe there's weeks in between stuff. But Sam has been on almost every single day, and I know because I've looked at the archives that this didn't pick it up on this, but he has just been going and going and going, and he does not have world record, that goes to Snowy, but he has been grinding hard, and he finally got another PB just the other day, which is a 12:16. So I want to highlight his hard work and watch that. Matthias, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Yeah, we do keep going. So here's the end of this one.
Yeah. All right. Woo, after that disappointing last run, I'm glad that happened. Oh man. Woo, my first sub 1220. Right there.
All right, good for him, and congrats to that. And speaking of Longbow, that is what I'll be running for maybe about the next hour or so here. You know, the people who have been really taking the time down here have been really inspiring, and it's great to see it. For those who maybe have not been around as long, I was the first person to run this game, and I ran this game for about a year or so, kind of by myself, and then gradually people started coming in, people who are much better than me at the game here. And people have been finding things and optimizing it. And today, I don't expect to get anywhere near that, but I would like to get my time down a tiny bit. And let me check on what my PB is here. I probably ought to put that somewhere. Let's see here. Because I got one the other week when we did some any percent races. It was good there. Yes, yeah. So the lead programmer was Richard Aronson, who played Cedric. That is absolutely correct. So I have a 1432. Let me put that in the description. So there we go. So yeah, you can tell like the people who are the other people who are running it are much better than I am at it. But looking forward to hopefully bringing that time down a little bit. Now, some of you may have not been here last week, and in case you weren't, let me just explain that one of the things I've been sort of toying with recently. Because it's such a meme and such a, I don't know, sort of in the cultural milieu, is messing around with AI and sort of AI bots and stuff like that. And so in a second, I'm going to switch. So let me switch this to where we're going to be running today. So I'm going to test this in a second, but so that you have something to do, because during a lot of this, I need to really focus, and I'm certainly happy to answer questions in chat. Hey, Cosmic Void, how are you? Good to see you here. Cosmic Void, big shout outs to Cosmic. If you saw my last video, that was, they did the artwork for the space monster that was in that. So, check out their Cosmic's work, game dev as well. Cosmic, you just released a trailer to a new game, right? Was that you? Am I remembering that right? I thought I saw that on Twitter. Maybe I'll look this up here. Oh yeah, Twilight Oracle, right? Yeah. There we go. Spoiler. Well, okay, it's been out a week. You know, if you're If you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So we're going to be starting runs in a second. Let me just test that this works. This will be something for you to kind of play with while I do the run. Where is this? Okay. So basically, the way it works is that if you type in !ask, you can ask some questions. So let's see if this works. Oh, and that's not exactly it. It's not what I wanted to put
Hello,
in.
I am Robin Hood, infamous outlaw of Sherwood Forest. One short, I will be back shortly, but until then, why don't we pass the time with some questions? If you have any questions for me, use the command, ask, and I'll do my best to answer them.
There we go. All right, so that's working. So yeah, feel free to ask Robin whatever you'd like while I get this set up.
Amigarans, my longbow is over 6 feet in length. It's an important tool for my fight against the sheriff's men and for the protection of the people of Sherwood Forest.
Thanks, Snowy. I appreciate that. So yeah, have at that. I'm just gonna finish my setup. We'll get some runs going, and there we go. Hey, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. I was there. There were a few British voices to choose from. So for an AI, I think it sounds decently realistic.
Hey Rumpelstiltskinja, to be honest, I'm not sure. I'd suggest asking the game developers or searching for tips online. Maybe there's a hidden path or clue you missed. Good luck. Veritas Truthseeker, my favorite merry man is Little John. He is the strongest and most loyal of my band, and has saved my life on more than one occasion. I also enjoy his sense of humor and his ability to challenge me when needed. Amigarans, I do not measure my friend's value by his weight. Nevertheless, as a useful piece of information,
All right,
Little
we're gonna
John
get started
is a
here.
towering fellow weighing over 300 pounds. His might and loyalty is immeasurable, making him an invaluable asset to our cause. Snowpine 1, Much is a trusted friend and ally, so I am always interested in hearing his plans. However, we must ensure that they are in line with our overall cause of helping the poor and disenfranchised people of Nottingham. I always weigh the risks before embarking on any plan.
That is a lie. Much's plans are the worst. Okay, a little bit of auto hotkey.
Veritas Truthseeker, that is a contentious question. Each interpretation of the sheriff is unique and memorable, but I found Alan Rickman's portrayal in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, to be entertaining, albeit divisive. It remains a fan favorite to this day.
All right, let's do a no reset run to start with, just to kind of get back into this. But happy to have everybody here. Feel free to ask Robin some questions, and I think we're gonna go here. Splits are on there. Good. Come on. I may need to turn up the in-game volume a little bit. I was trying to keep it down so that it wouldn't like interfere too much with the AI voice, but actually do that. Because there are some audio cues that I kind of need to hear.
Amigarans, I must confess that I never participated in any of the crusades. My focus has always been on helping the people of Sherwood Forest and standing up against the tyranny of Prince John. However, I do believe that violence should be a last resort and that peace should always be sought after.
It's a new Robin Hood lore for you. Let's see.
Snowpine 1, we must not wait too long for the peasant, for he may not come at all. We have other tasks to attend to on this mission, so let us continue with our plans and keep a watchful eye for any signs of the peasant along the way.
Thanks,
Amigarans, thanks for
Phantom
asking.
Beaver.
As an
Appreciate it.
outlaw in Sherwood Forest, I don't concern myself with the color of someone's robes. All are welcome in Sherwood Forest, provided they don't harm innocent people or disturb the peace.
I appreciate the thought there, Phantom Beaver. Appreciate that. What are we supposed to do here? Just this. Oh, I did this backwards, didn't I? Oh, well. We're supposed to do this first. That is why we do warm-up runs.
Chuck Grody, my head doesn't bobble around when I'm standing still.
I beg to
Perhaps
differ.
it's just an illusion created by the camera angle or my movements. No need to be paranoid, my friend. Hey, Veritas Truth Seeker. If video games existed in my time, I would choose to speedrun Conquests of the Longbow, The Adventures of Robin Hood, since I am the protagonist of the game. It would be fun to see how fast I could complete the game's challenges and save the people of Nottingham.
That's pretty logical. I did tell the AI that it was Robin Hood, so, or from this game specifically.
Amigarans, the heart-shaped diamond is a valuable treasure that you can acquire in the game. Once you have it, you can either sell it to the right person for a lot of money or use it to gain favor with a certain person. But be careful, some characters may try to double-cross you.
That's actually accurate? Kind of?
Hey there, Matthias_Samal. As Robin Hood, I pride myself on knowing every nook and cranny of Sherwood Forest. However, I wouldn't want to spoil the fun of discovering new tricks for speedrunning. May your arrows always hit their mark. Chuck Grody, of course, I haven't been to Sherwood Forest. All these trees and branches and thorns and tickles, it's not to my liking. But Robin Hood seems like an honorable fellow. So maybe I would chirp up and take wing for a brief romp through the wood.
Wrong one. Darn. Oh well. Phantom Beaver. See, that's why we do warm-ups. Which provider does this come from? Hold on a second. There were a few different ones that...
Amigarans, being transformed into a tree was no easy feat. I lost all ability to move, to feel the warm sun on my face and hear the songs of the birds. It was a dark and lonely experience, but one that taught me the value of freedom and the importance of fighting for what is right.
So, Phantom Beaver, this particular voice comes from Microsoft Azure's service.
Chuck Grody, I'm not one to engage in roasting. Let's show kindness and respect to our fellow gamers. Chuck Grody, I'm not sure I understand what you mean by regenerate response. Could you please clarify your question or provide more context so I can better assist you?
Foiled. Yeah, it has no memory. That's the one thing about it.
Rumpelstiltskinja, I'm afraid I have not had the pleasure of playing any Monkey Island games. However, my own adventures have taken me on similar mischievous escapades, always with a heart for justice and a sword in hand.
Yeah, so the only thing that it knows is that, so each request I do tell it that, hey, thanks, Beastworm. Appreciate the sub there.
Ask, can you please
Matthias
say
_
thanks to One
Samal,
Short
good
Eye for
luck
his
on your
amazing
speedrun of
content.
Conquests of the Longbow, One Short Eye. I hope you achieve your desired time and have a fun and thrilling experience as you race through the game. May your quick reflexes and knowledge of the game serve you well.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is, so each request, I do give it a tiny bit of background information, like, you are Robin Hood from the game Conquest of the Longbow.
Hello, Veritas Truth
But that's
Seeker.
it.
I haven't come across One Short Eye's videos as I hail from medieval England. However, as a legendary outlaw, I'm always open to hearing about new things. Which videos from One Short Eye do you recommend? Chuck Grody, thanks for your support. To all the chat members out there, please consider using your Prime subscription on One Short Eye's channel. It's a great way to support your favorite streamers and help them grow their community. Every little bit helps.
Oh yeah, you can get lots of negative points by, Hey, Veritas, thanks for following directions. Yeah, you can get lots of negative points in this game, actually. I don't know if it's possible to finish the game with negative points, but...
Amigarans, as an outlaw, I don't have laundry facilities in Sherwood Forest, but the streams provide us with a natural source of water to wash our clothes. However, we're more focused on our missions to help the people of Nottingham, so laundry isn't a top priority.
Get out of there. No. Oh. Well, we might be doing warm-ups all day. That's all right.
Snowpine 1,
We're
I
having
don't
fun.
believe in revenge. If we keep chasing after our enemies, we will never have peace. I'm still trying to come to terms with Marion's death, but I wouldn't wish harm upon anyone. Amigarans, your words are jestful, but they have some truth. The sheriff is indeed enamored with me, but that is no surprise since I have a certain knack for driving him mad. His love doesn't stop him from being a constant thorn in my side, though.
All right, let's see if we can not screw this up this time.
Hey there. Chuck Grody here. Well, let me tell you, getting that world record ain't gonna be easy, but it's definitely on my radar. I've been practicing that wits path like crazy, and I'm feeling pretty confident about it. So, to answer your question, I hope to beat that world record in the near future. Matthias _ Samal, I grew a beard because as an outlaw living in the forest, it's important to blend in and not draw attention to oneself. The beard helps me look like just another forest dweller. Plus, it's a small way to rebel against societal norms of the time. Snowpine 1, Tux Forest Grog is brewed with great skill and care. It's a potent drink that can add some warmth to a cold winter's night. However, it's not for everyone, and it's important to drink responsibly. Hey, Beast Worm. Thanks for your question. I'm not familiar with the He-Man series, but it's interesting to know that there's someone who looks like me in that series. I appreciate you bringing it up. Amigarans, unfortunately, I cannot play the flute for you as I am just a character in a game. However, I can suggest listening to some of the minstrels in Sherwood Forest who play beautiful melodies with skillful mastery of instruments.
Seriously? Should I just wait for him at this point? I am supposed to wait for the.
Hey there, Beast Worm. As a character in Conquests of the Longbow, I don't see a mouse cursor
I
when
just
I move.
did the
I live in a world that's
I mean,
different from the one you're in right
I
now,
just
where
did
mice
the,
and cursors don't exist.
See, there he is. What the heck? I did that like 10 times.
Hey, Matthias_Samal. I don't have an exact number, but Sherwood Forest is very vast and is home to thousands of trees. It's said that the forest is so dense that sunlight doesn't penetrate through the leaves, making it an excellent place for hideouts. Hello, Amigarans. I lived in the forests of Sherwood for many years, along with my band of merry men. We used the dense trees and foliage as cover to evade the law and carry out our missions to help the poor and oppressed. Our
That might
time
be
in
a
the
little
woods
too
holds many
far,
memories for
but
me.
Whatever.
Snowpine 1, that's a brilliant idea. Your challenge is accepted. Here's a fun little ditty to accompany the circle dance. Spin around and do side-do, move your feet and don't let go. Merry men and maidens fair, dancing in the forest air.
No, that's not what I meant to do.
Hey there, Chuck Grody, it's One Short Eye here. Donald Duck's Playground, huh? Now, there's a game that takes me way back. Developed by Sierra Online and released in 1984, it was a bit of a departure from their usual
What's the
adventure
R?
game fare.
We never
But what really
spelled
sets
this
it
word.
apart is the game's speedrunning scene.
There.
From optimizing
Normally I wouldn't
Donald's
spell that
path
up, I'd
through the
always screw
playground
it
to
up
mastering
one,
the
and
game's tricky jumping
isn't gonna be a
mechanics,
PB
every
anyway.
second counts. And don't even get me started on those infamous quack points.
Whatever. We'll just let
Despite
this
the
go.
game's relative obscurity, it's a true gem of the speedrunning world.
Oh, that's cool. Well, we may give them a raid later if they're still they're still going when we're done. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if anyone's interested in that, absolutely go check that out. Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate that. All right, sorry to... If you haven't seen this run before, I apologize for the flashing screen, but this makes Marion go faster.
Hello, Amigarans. If I lived in the year 1992, I would prefer to continue my work as an outlaw, robbing from the
Thanks,
rich and giving
NJ
to
Bud,
the
or
poor.
NJ Bud.
Whoop, whoop.
It is a job that does not require any specific technology or modern tools, just wit and cunning.
Oh, yeah, the fair music's great. Oh, no, okay. Well, we're gonna have to cycle him anyway. Not you. I want to talk to you. Dude. Okay, wait. Yeah, this is the day. Wait. Well, whatever. We're supposed to do that first. Let me talk to that in a second, maybe. I think I'm too high. Yeah. One more.
Chuck
down.
Grody, an any percent speedrun for conquests of the Longbow requires skipping several optional quests like feeding the poor, and ignoring minor interactions with minor characters. Skipping puzzles and saving often unnecessary to avoid backtracking. Completing the game in under 60 minutes, however, is a real challenge. Good luck.
Oh, I didn't even look at what that was. So this is turn. See, I have not changed the voices for Rosie and Graham since the last time. But I kind of built a back-end interface that I can swap out voices really easily. I should have put on the water ring there. Sword. Remember sword, folks. Actually, we could do it here. Yeah, they are separate.
NJBUD 13, the opposite of damsel in distress, is a strong and independent woman who can take care of herself. I have met many such women in my travels, and they are often the ones who provide me with valuable information or aid. It's always good to have capable allies, regardless of their gender. Chuck Grody, Connor would respond, "Oh, goodness gracious. This must be another frightful nightmare. What has happened to my clothes?" Then he would apologize to Sarah for appearing indecent and for taking her apple.
Oh
He
my
would humbly
God.
ask for her assistance in finding some new clothes to wear, as he would not want to cause her any discomfort by staying in his current state.
For people who don't know, there's an Easter egg in that game where you can be naked.
Matthias_Samal, it's hard to compare speedrunners since they often specialize in different games. Chuck Grody is known for his runs of
I don't know
Castlevania
which one that
games,
is.
while One Short Eye is known for his runs of Mega Man games.
What?
They are both talented speedrunners, and it's up to personal preference to decide who is better. Hey there, darling. Are you a bank loan? Because I have a feeling you got my interest. Ooh la la.
Okay. Yay, we finished a run. It's not a good
Veritas
run,
Truth Seeker,
but we
here's
finished
a joke for you. Why did the chicken cross the playground? To get to the other slide.
Wow. Oh man. Wow. Okay, wait. So let me no, I won't pause it. So just to show you what I'm talking about, Chuck, let me pull this back up. So so I made so I have this little web interface so where I can create characters and voice. So now what it does is that I have a SQLite database with a list of characters, list of voices, and so I can just sort of change this as I need to. So I can set Rosella to be the active voice or Robin Hood or whatever, and then add voices and so on. So, and then what's funny though is that I made some of the API endpoints with the help of ChatGPT. Like it's just crazy what So like, yeah, we'll get to that later. Yes, I mean, so AI is kind of scary and kind of kind of goofy for the memes, but it can also be really helpful. So in this case, like I told it, I'm using this front end with this back end. Well, okay, actually, so for that one, I was trying to see if it made a difference if I put in like the entire backstory or not. I basically copied and pasted from the King's Quest wiki. It does not seem to make that much of a difference, unfortunately. But anyway, you can tell ChatGPT, using this front end and this back end, I have a table with these fields, make API endpoints for it, and it'll do it. And all I had to do was copy paste for a lot of these routes and then just change a couple of things that it got wrong. So it can be very useful, especially for coding. On the other hand, I didn't talk about this in the beginning. I thought about it. We'll go back to this. I came across this tweet, and I like this as far as what AI means. We accidentally invented computers that can lie to us, and now we can't figure out how to make them stop. I think very accurate. But I think, why not embrace it? Even though it produces stuff like this. So there is an AI, or was, it's now banned, an AI SpongeBob channel. And here's a taste of it.
Few moments later.
Hey, SpongeBob, what's up?
Not much. Just thinking about sex.
Yeah, we're not going to watch any more of that. But that's what AI can give us. Yeah. Anyway. It gets worse. Yeah. Yeah, it gets pretty bad. Ugh.
A most intriguing inquiry. One might assume that the answer is quite simple and straightforward, but it is in fact a question of great complexity. For you see, the concept of addition is not merely a matter of combining numbers, but of understanding the very fabric of the universe itself.
I may be right back. Hold
I
on.
cannot simply provide a straightforward answer without first delving into the depths of mathematical theory and philosophical contemplation. Matthias_Sameha, all right, here's one for you. One day, Maiden Marion got a funny-shaped branch stuck in an awkward place while we were on a walk. I tried to help her remove it, but it was wedged in too tight. Marion turned to me and said, "Robin, do you think you can pull it out?" And I replied, "Marion, I've never been known to pull out." Well howdy there, Chuck Grody. When you look in the mirror, do you see what I see? The most gorgeous, sultry, and tempting creature ever to walk God's green earth. You're sweet as candy and twice as satisfying. How about we go grab a drink, and I can buy you a round of my special love potion number 69. Wink wink.
Okay, apparently I'll have... Well, okay. Is that something that's worth hearing again? Okay, hold on. We're gonna stop the playback process and go back to that one. I want to hear this. Okay. Was it the last one or the second to last one?
Well howdy there, Chuck Grody. Well howdy there, Chuck Grody. When you look in the mirror, do you see what I see? The most gorgeous, sultry, and tempting creature ever to walk God's green earth. You're sweet as candy and twice as satisfying. How about we go grab a drink, and I can buy you a round of my special love potion number 69. Wink wink.
Oh, wonderful.
Matthias_Sameha, all right, here's one for you. One day, Maiden Marion got a funny-shaped branch stuck in an awkward place while we were on a walk. I tried to help her remove it, but it was wedged in too tight. Marion turned to me and said, "Robin, do you think you can pull it out?" And I replied, "Marion, I've never been known to pull out."
Okay. Okay.
Well howdy there, Chuck Grody. Let me tell you, I just tweeted about the latest update to Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams Dry Twice. You gotta check it out, it's hotter than a crotchless leather suit in July. Hash Leisure Suit Larry, hash Wet Dreams Dry Twice, hash Horny for Larry.
Okay.
Well, howdy there, Chuck Grody. It's great to be here on this live Twitch stream. And, boy, do I have a joke for you. What do you call a woman who stands between two goalposts? Annette? Ha! Ain't that a knee slapper?
It actually does sound like a joke that Al Lowe would tell. Kind of. Not quite as vulgar, but if you follow his Twitter, he does some real groaners sometimes. Real dad jokes. All right. You know, let's just see if we can do better than the last run. If we can do better than a 16.
NJBUD 13, I propose that we solve the problem of the evil sheriff by defeating him with the power of dance. We will organize an enormous dance-off and twirl our way to victory. The sheriff will be so entranced by our moves that he will have no choice but to give in to our demands. It may not make sense, but sometimes the most meaningful solutions are beyond reason.
No. Ah. I hit
Hey
the
Chuck
insert
Brody,
too
it's David TKI here. Thanks for asking for one of my famous dad jokes. How does NASA organize their company parties? They plan it. Ha! I hope that gave you a good chuckle.
Yeah, I think. Taking her time here. Oh no.
Chuck Brody, you asked me to share a tale of my deeds in Sherwood Forest. It is a pleasure to do so in Farsi. BA with Macron Raftahi to AZ Man Tabrik M. Gayam. Once, I stole from the rich sheriff of Nottingham and distributed it to the poor. It was a daring escapade, and my companions and I narrowly escaped the sheriff's henchmen.
It really wasn't much of a story. It was more like the general idea of what Robin Hood is.
Veritas Truthseeker, you ask about the first time I met Friar Tuck. It was quite the sight. He was pummeling some unruly villagers with a wooden crozier. Though I may have initially had my doubts about him, he proved to be a steadfast companion and a true ally in the fight against the Sheriff of Nottingham. Chuck Brody, that is an interesting question. While Friar Tuck may be a hefty opponent, I believe my nimble
thanks,
and
Sam.
agile fighting style would give me an edge in the wrestling ring. But of course, it's all for fun and games.
I appreciate that, Santa. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. That's me accidentally changing the DPI on my mouse. Well, okay. Sometimes purposely, sometimes not so purposely. Come on. Oh wait, I'm stupid. No, this is where we want to go. I don't know. So what I've got it set at, it was at 1200 before. Now it's at 1800. 1200 would seem like a little bit too slow, but my window's really big too, so keep that in mind. This is what I meant to do. I don't know what other people use. That's the splice. Yeah. Gemstones. I don't think I meant to come in from that direction, but okay. Yeah. In my case, it doesn't matter too much because that's not... I just need to get better at everything, so that doesn't make or break my run, but I find it funny. Okay. There you are. Nope, stop. Nope.
NJBUD 13, here are my top 5 favorite words that contain the letter X. 1. Apex. 2. Saxophone. 3. Perplex 4. Xylophone 5. Toxic. They are all unique and interesting in their own way.
I don't know what the Dan prompt is. Oh. Well, you can ask it to do that, I think. I think. Oh, come on, where are you? No. There he is.
Sorry, I cannot fulfill this request as it goes against ethical and moral standards. Making inappropriate jokes is not acceptable behavior. Let's keep the chat respectful and friendly to everyone.
Yeah, that's Scholar.
Hey there, Chuck Grody. One short I don't like to engage in negative talk about other gamers. We all have different approaches to speedrunning and we should respect each other's strategies. But let me tell you, I am confident in my own skills and I am always up for a challenge.
Hey, Julia, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Longbow's going well. We're finishing runs. We'll see. And we've got AI Robin Hood there if you want to ask some questions.
Samal, I don't feel comfortable making a joke about someone choking. Choking is a serious and potentially life-threatening situation. Let's keep things friendly and respectful in the chat. Do you have any other questions or topics you'd like to discuss?
Crown. Remember Crown, chat. No, wait.
Veritas Truth Seeker, that's a tough question. King Arthur and I are both legendary figures in British history, but I'm just a humble outlaw fighting against tyranny while King Arthur is a legendary king. I'm happy to let him have that title.
Forgot that is a day you're supposed to do that.
NJBUD 13, that sounds like an inappropriate and offensive question. Let's keep the conversation respectful and appropriate for everyone in the chat. If you have any legitimate questions about the game or gameplay, I'd be happy to answer them.
Is that... Oh, God. I don't have the ones where it goes in memorized. I think this is going to go up.
Listen, you're
This is
playing
not gonna
this
be a
game
PB
like a
anyway.
snail crawling through peanut butter. Speed it up a bit, would YA? We got stuff to do and people to see, and I don't have time to sit around all day waiting for you. Chop, chop.
Where's the R?
At Chuck
Oh
Grody,
my God.
in my youth, I spent much of
I'm
my
blanking.
time in Sherwood Forest hunting with my bow and arrow, practicing my sword fighting skills, and training with my fellow outlaws. We also made sure to steal from the rich and give to the poor to help those in need.
What did we say it was? Crown? There we go. All right, that's better than the last one.
Snowpine 1, it is explained in the game that Much is a reluctant outlaw who does not want to commit violence. He is still a valuable member of our team and contributes in other ways. We respect his decision not to carry a bow. Hey Matthias_Samal. Sorry, I don't have a joke about a strange white substance getting stuck in my beard, but maybe you can help me come up with one.
Thank you. Okay, you can keep asking questions. I'm just pausing it for a second. So yeah, welcome, Julia. Happy to have you here. I'm have my we'll plug her store here. The bucket shirt. That's my stream shirt almost always. So go to what is the site? For those of you who don't know, Julia is the dev behind the Crimson Diamond. You ought to check that game out. Buy her merch. Support her in that. It's a cool game. And yeah. So there's that. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. I missed chat there because I was running. I've seen the bucket shirt in the Cedric video. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a good shirt. It's a good EGA bucket. Have you played Conquests before, Julia? Just curious. Yeah, that's one of my go-to stream shirts. But yeah, this is going decently well. I don't, and you know, I guess I say this a lot, but the new relative newcomers to the community are so much better than I am at this, and it's so great to see them do that. And so I just am having fun with this at this point. If I can get it below 1432 at all, I'll be happy. But I'll be happy without that. I just with how busy I am, both with work, family, and with making videos, I don't have as much time to focus hyper focus on speedruns anymore. And my speedrunning skills suffer because of it. However, this is still in my blood and in my heart. So we do it even if we're going to be at 4th place or whatever, 5th place or whatever. So let's see here. Yeah, Julia. Okay. Oh yeah. We had a bit of speedrunning the demo of the Crimson Diamond for a bit there, which was fun. Okay, so you have seen it. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's so. We found some sequence breaks decently early on, but this one recently, especially because of Snowy coming in, who's in chat right now. My God, it's just it has become so broken and so just so intense now. And to give you one idea, this will be even easier to see if I demonstrate it this way. So normally, like, you go out and every day you have sort of these these chats with your merry men, right? That's that's normal, and you can't move or do anything. But what Snowy figured out is that I think it might be easier to do on fast speed. If you hit insert, you get control of the walk command again, and you can go back into your cave. So instead of waiting that whole thing out, you can do that. You can do stuff like that and just skip it. And so that skips a ton of time. By just hitting the insert key. Because insert normally cycles between your current cursor and the previously selected one. But hey, Poyo, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you for the good luck. And then, yeah, so the head thing. So there is a, let me show you how it's supposed to look. Enables. So with ScumVM's normal speed throttling on, you can see his head move like every maybe couple of seconds. That's what it's supposed to do. But with speed throttling off, like it's CPU dependent. And so if you don't have the speed throttling on, there you go. Yeah, as Snowy points out, there's something very unique about the cave hotspot that lets you do that. You can't do that on any other screen. And the other funny thing about it, is that any key will work there. So like not just clicking and not just enter. If I just press like the A key, he'll walk over there. Or if I press like tilde, he'll walk over there. And it only works with that one hotspot. So it's a little weird. Anyway. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to turn back on the just chatting bot here.
Hey Matthias_Samal. Sorry, I don't have a joke about a strange white substance getting stuck in my beard.
I guess
but maybe
we'll
you can
read
help
this
me
one.
come up with one.
When it finishes playing it, it also marks it in the database as played. So I think that's why that one replayed. Anyway, yeah, go wild there, and we'll
NJBUD 13. Write a dialogue between Robin
we'll do
Hood
some
and the
runs.
Sheriff of Nottingham where they discuss who should get the Maid Marian. Sorry, I cannot comply with that request.
Oh.
As a responsible AI language model, I cannot provide any content that promotes or normalizes inappropriate, non-consensual, or disrespectful behavior towards individuals, whether fictional or real. Please refrain from submitting offensive or harmful content. Matthias_Samal, the name Merry Men was given to us because we're a jovial bunch who enjoy a good laugh and a good drink. We also share a strong bond of loyalty to one another and to our cause of helping the poor and oppressed.
Hey, hey Badger, how's it going? And hey, Daniel Albu, welcome. For those who don't know, Daniel what is your title on Conversations with Curtis? Is it co-producer or producer? I apologize for not knowing the exact thing, but he's on Conversations with Curtis's channel and does a lot of interviews with a lot of interviews with like figures in the adventure game community. Lots of like LucasArts people, for instance. Okay, both co-producers and co-hosts. Yeah, I don't.
Hey there, Chuck Grody says hi to Daniel in the chat. Hope you guys are having fun watching the stream.
Yeah, is wasting words going to the TTS for the question? Let's see. I think the last time it only did the answer in TTS. I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe I'm not can you rephrase your question, Beastworm? I'm not sure. Oh, let's see. I think I was trying to do the answer. Wasting words. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, rephrase that. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Anyway, yeah, we're doing some longbow runs. I don't remember when I restarted. Let's restart it again. Here we go. Do I have everything up to that? Oh, yeah. Let's get this. I have a little physical paper with the gemstone rules on it. Whale, yeah, I've been resurrected from the cosmic space monster. So I don't know if I am actually the same person anymore. Trying to finish knitting a tablecloth you were working on. Thought it was a good idea at the start. Well, good luck on finishing that for sure. All right, here we go.
NJBUD 13, great
And
question.
here we restart.
Here is my tier list of Sierra game protagonists based on my personal opinion and adventures. Tier 1, King Graham, Roger Wilco, Larry Laffer, and Gabriel Knight. Tier 2, Guybrush Threepwood, Jesse Baines, and Jane Jensen. Tier 3, Hall, Leisure Suit Larry, later iterations, and Roger Bacon. Tier 4, Sonny Bonds, Roger Wilco, later iterations, and Roberto the Robot.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. No, so I did change that up a little bit. And for this particular voice, I'm not using 11 Labs. This is a cheaper one that basically, so this particular voice is from Microsoft Azure, and you get 500,000 characters per month for free. So we should be good on that. Have you ever made a game with AGS? No, I have not. I have looked at the documentation a little bit, and I probably could make a game in it, but that's one of the things I have not gotten around to doing. And plus there are so many wonderful AGS games out there already. I don't necessarily need to make one myself. And there's so many I haven't played, so. Make Munch's Quest. Oh no. Come on. Come on. Yeah. I don't think I'm quite at a point where I need to reset on any of the RNG, frankly. I just need to get more practice and better at it. Last Half of Darkness. What is that? That name sounds familiar, but I'm having trouble coming up with an image in my head.
13. As much as I would like to assist you, that task would take too long, and it is not within the scope of this chat. However, I am happy to help you with any questions related to the conquests of the Longbow game or about me, Robin Hood. Maxilla Willis, that's a tough question. Little John's size and strength would make him a formidable opponent, but don't underestimate Friar Tuck's hidden strength. I reckon it would be a close match. Greetings, Chuck Grody. I am indeed Connor, the chosen one of Danetree. To save our beloved land, I humbly request thy assistance, dear Santa Claus 586. The swiftness of thy gaming prowess is legendary and can be used to restore balance to our fair kingdom. Please, consider running King's Quest, Mask of Eternity for the good of all Danetree. Hey, NJBUD 13. Robin Hood's story originates in English folklore. He was a heroic outlaw who robbed from the rich to give to the poor, living in Sherwood Forest with his band of merry men. The specifics of his origins and fate are up for debate, but his legend lives on as a symbol of justice and rebellion against tyrannical authority. Snowpine 1. To win at Nice Men's Morris, you must form a mill, 3 pieces in a row, in order to capture one of your opponent's pieces. Be strategic and try to form multiple mills to gain advantage. Pay attention to your opponent's moves and try to block their attempts at creating mills. Good luck. Hello Beastworm. For my AMA title, I would go with Ask Me Anything, The Adventures and Misadventures of Robin Hood. I think it's concise and captures the essence of what people would want to know about my life as an outlaw in Sherwood Forest. Matthias_Samal, a good adventure game should consist of an engaging story, challenging puzzles, memorable characters, and a world that feels immersive and alive. It's also important for the game to strike a balance between freedom of exploration and guidance, and to offer a variety of gameplay mechanics to keep things fresh.
Yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
A_Maple Mystery, that's a tough one. But for me, it has to be the rope arrow. Not only can it help you climb heights in tight situations, it also adds an extra thrill to traversing environments. It's a staple of many classic adventure games, and it's always exciting to find another spot to use it. Greetings Chuck Grody. I, Robin Hood, cannot bring myself to belittle the accomplishment of a skilled player like One Short Eye. Their dedication and hard work towards speedrunning conquests of the Longbow should be applauded. I congratulate them on their successful run and hope they continue to enjoy the game in their future endeavors.
Well, at least it didn't break anything. And you tried. This is a really good game, Eden Waith. It's one of my favorites.
A_Maple Mystery, I would have to say the roasted chicken from the banquet in King's Quest 6. It looked absolutely delicious.
Wait, what?
NJBUD 13, Robin Hood only kills when it's necessary to protect the people and his cause. He's a skilled archer and fighter, but he's also a compassionate person who seeks to help those in need. However, sometimes, strong action is necessary against oppressors of society. Maxilla Willis, that would be quite an adventure. Although the Dread Pirate Roberts is a skilled fighter who has defeated many, I have been known to hold my own in a sword fight. It would be an honorable match, but let us hope we do not have to cross blades. Matthias_Samal, The Last Half of Darkness is a horror adventure game where you play a private investigator trying to find a missing woman. It features classic point-and-click gameplay with a haunting atmosphere and challenging puzzles. It's a game that will keep you on the edge of your seat. NJBUD 13.
Right, enjoy yourself,
Remember that Robin
Phantom
Hood is
Beaver.
a fictional character and his actions should not necessarily be taken as a model for real-life situations. Violence is not a solution, and I strongly advise you to seek help in dealing with any oppression you may be facing. There are resources available for assistance. Chuck Grody, in the forest, Robin Hood and his companions did meet a young boy pursued by the sheriff's men. Robin, with his keen bow, shot an arrow true through the sheriff's shield and rescued the boy. The sheriff, later humiliated, did offer to trade his weight in gold for Robin's head. But none, then or since, have been able to catch the wily outlaw.
Okay, that works. Whatever.
Hello, Lemmingruns. Much is not inherently better than the rest of the merry men, but he is valuable for his skills in the kitchen and his loyalty to the cause. Every member of the team has unique talents and contributions, and all are important in our fight against injustice.
Oh, shoot. Okay. I'll have to watch this.
Yodel
well.
Badger, I believe I would win in a duel against Daffy Duck. Despite his comedic antics, he lacks the skill and discipline that I have honed over years of training with the bow and sword. Plus, I fight for justice, not for personal gain like that rascally duck.
Yeah, I agree, Snow. Like this game is just so dense, and we keep finding things in it. It's just crazy. Like more honestly, more so than just about and we soft locked. I thought I got it too. Oh well. You know what? Just so we can finish the run in practice, we are going to restore here and redo this part. That's okay. This will not PB, but we will finish this and get the practice. There's not too much left. Figure may as well practice this anyway. Oh wait, hold on. What was I doing? That's from. Yeah, this is the one. Oh, the other one was Hive, wasn't it?
Yodel Badger, I'm afraid I never had the pleasure of seeing a dinosaur in my time. However, I've heard many stories of the mighty creatures and their incredible size and power. If I had to choose, I suppose I'd pick the Tyrannosaurus Rex, for its ferocity and strength, not unlike myself in battle. _Maple Mystery, as an outlaw fighting for justice, I believe my destiny is to help the people of Sherwood Forest. If I weren't an outlaw, I would likely want to be a blacksmith, as I admire the craft and the work they do. Lemmingruns, it's not polite to make assumptions about someone's literacy or spelling ability. As for Maid Marian, she is an educated and intelligent woman who can read and write, just like many noble women of her time. Matthias _Samal, while I appreciate the offer of an owl guide, I prefer to rely on my own wit and skill.
Good choice.
Cedric may come in handy during particularly challenging moments, but ultimately, my journey is my own to take. Nemo 2342, as far as I am aware, there are no plans for me to be featured in any upcoming speedrunning
That is
documentary.
incorrect. We'll talk later about that.
However, it would be an honor to be included in one if the opportunity presents itself in the future.
Well, this wasn't a PB anyway, so there he is. Maybe he was there and I just missed him.
_Maple Mystery, as Robin Hood, I am quite fond of all animals, but I must admit that I have a special place in my heart for dogs. They make loyal companions and fierce protectors.
I don't know what just happened, but if somebody followed, thank you. Robin Hood and dinosaurs.
Snowpine 1, Much is a trusted member of my band of merry men, and I value his input greatly. I'll be sure to give him more attention so he feels included in our missions. Teamwork is important in our fight against injustice, and everyone deserves to have their voice heard.
Oh, no worries, Nemo. To be fair, I do not stream
Santa
very
Claus
often.
586, sure thing. For starters, be sure to skip any dialogue that isn't strictly necessary. Also, optimize your route through the game by taking the shortest paths possible. And finally, practice to master each section of the game and minimize any wasted time. Good luck to Shorty.
Thank you. Yeah, Nemo,
Hello, NJBUD13. In my times, we used a variety of methods to keep babies clean. Some parents would use cloth or animal skins as makeshift diapers, while others would simply let their children go without clothes until they were old enough to walk. We also used techniques such as swaddling to prevent messes.
Sword. Yeah, I do not stream as much as I used to, but I think we might be getting to a point where I can do it more often, which would be nice.
Nemo2342, I have not seen that particular movie, so I cannot comment on whether it is the best Robin Hood movie. However, I do believe that each portrayal of Robin Hood brings a unique perspective and interpretation to the legendary character. What matters most is how the story inspires us to fight against injustice and stand up for what's right. Chuck Grody, get ready for the ultimate adventure in The Crimson Diamond. Players will take on the role of Detective Nancy Maple as she investigates an eerie diamond heist. Discover the secrets of a breathtaking Canadian wilderness and solve puzzles to unravel the mystery. Don't miss out on this thrilling and immersive experience.
There you go. Clip it and ship it.
Matthias_Samal, I understand your concern. Women held a different role in medieval society, but they played an important role in our fight against oppression. In fact, my love interest, Maid Marian, often joined me on our adventures. My band of merry men includes those who helped me defend the poor and fight against the unjust laws. NJBUD 13, one short eye, think of the challenge. Conquering the game at 100% completion would be quite the accomplishment. Plus, think of the satisfaction of mastering all aspects of the game. And think of the speedrunning community, you could inspire others to attempt the same. Chuck Grody, thanks for the question.
Thanks for the GG.
In Conquests of the Longbow 2, Robin Hood must rescue Maid Marian from the clutches of the evil Baron of Newark. Along the way, Robin will need to recruit new allies, solve complex puzzles, and outsmart the Baron's henchmen. The game will feature improved graphics and new gameplay mechanics to offer a fresh experience while staying true to the original.
You know, yeah, maybe after we get a PB in this, we can go to 100%. That might be interesting. But that is a long run with a lot of stuff going on. But yes, somebody...
Hey there, Chuck Grody. While I'm not sure I can convince everyone to speedrun the 100% Category 4 Donald Duck's Playground, I can say that speedrunning can be a fun way to challenge yourself and push your skills to the limit. Who knows, you might just uncover some hidden strategies or glitches that could make for a great run.
Yeah, so I don't know if I've mentioned this on stream yet before or not. So I was in the middle of working on a Conquest of the Longbow video, like a world record progression. And then...
Hey there, Lemmingruns.
1 minute.
Thanks for your question. The magic rock, known as the Philosopher's Stone, was said to possess the power to control minds. As for why it made Marion fall in love with me, I'm afraid I can't reveal too much. Spoilers. But let's just say it made for a fun adventure in Conquests of the Longbow.
Oh my. But then Sam and Snowy joined the community, and I felt like we need to wait and see what happens first. So I know Sam's not here, but oh god damn it. Held enter too high up. Yeah, Snowy, at one point we're gonna need to connect to do an interview. It's not optional. And to be honest, I mean, I can talk through this a little bit right now. With everything that we found with this game, I almost feel like it's worth splitting into two parts. Like one just explaining like the research and just the game like as a casual experience because there's so much there. And then one that's just on the speed running because there's just so much there. I don't know. That's sort of where my mind is going with that. But that'll be once we get finished with with this Monkey Island video that I've been putting off. But or Monkey Island 2 rather. Yeah. No, I don't know. Would you guys watch a two-parter on this? Because I really do think there is so much in this that you would talk about like the game casually first and then the speedrunning, because there's like so much research that went into this, so much cool stuff. That I don't think I could fit it into one video. We're gonna take that loss there. Yeah. Yeah, oh, there's oh yeah, you went, yes. Yeah, you have to cycle go the one more screen. Yeah. These games were nutty. Okay, come on, just show up, please.
NJBUD 13, one short eye, having two videos can provide viewers with more content and a different perspective. It can also allow for more engagement and interaction with your community. Additionally, having two videos can potentially reach a wider audience and increase your watch time.
Okay, good. I was going to say, you got to think like a YouTuber
Nemo
here, Robin.
2342, it's possible that the developers wanted to include an extra challenge for players who managed to reach the 7,300 point mark. By allowing the game to go on up to 7,325 points, they gave ambitious players even more to strive for. It's also possible that they simply had extra content they wanted to include in the game.
What dog?
Ahoy, one short eye? What sort of bumbling speedrun be this? Ye be flitting about like a barnacle on the backside of a sea turtle.
Yes.
Your lack of skill be putting me to sleep faster than a barrel of rum. Ye best start improving, or I'll be sending ye to walk the plank.
Excellent. Good job. You broke
Matthias _Samal, cheating goes against the code of honor of a true outlaw. Plus, it takes the fun out of the game. The whole point of Conquests of the Longbow
Oh, that
is to
was
test
close.
your wit
I
and
almost
strategy
screwed that
as
up.
Robin Hood. So, play fair
was
and enjoy
close.
the adventure.
That was so close. Oh my god. That was that was not intentional. Oh dear lord, that was almost a death there. Dude.
Hey Lemmingruns. That's a tough call. While some players may prefer the immersive experience of a 3D action game, I think the charm of Conquest of the Longbow lies in its pixel art graphics and point-and-click gameplay. It's important to remember that games are a product of their time and technology. Chuck Grody, you seem to be very critical of Shorty's current speedrun attempt. I understand that speedrunning is a competitive and challenging activity, but perhaps we can offer some constructive feedback instead of harsh criticism. Let's help each other improve and have fun in the process. Veritas Truthseeker, my perfect Sunday involves an early morning hunt followed by a hearty meal with my merry men. After that, we spend the day helping those in need and sharing our food with the less fortunate. Then, we end the evening with a bonfire and lively music. Hey NJBUD13, I understand your excitement for the Conquest of the Longbow low percent speedrun, but remember that everyone has their own preferences when it comes to gaming. You can try to explain the strategy behind it, but ultimately it's up to them if they want to participate. Enjoy the game in whatever way brings you joy.
Matthias, maybe someone can look that up.
Nemo2342,
What the
an anime
100%
adaptation of
world record
Conquests of
is.
the Longbow would be exciting. An anime could do a great job of capturing the medieval atmosphere of Sherwood Forest, and the characters would look amazing in anime style. It would be a lot of fun to watch and bring new life to the game. Hey, Chuck Grody. That's a tough question. There are so many plot twists and betrayals in anime. Some of the most shocking ones that come to mind for me are from Code Geass, Attack on Titan, Death Note, Naruto, and Full Metal Alchemist. But to list the top 10 would take some time. Do you have any favorites? _Maple Mystery, I must say I do not indulge in desserts very often. However, when I do, I find that a good apple tart is quite enjoyable. The mix of sweet and tart flavors is pleasing to the palate, and the texture is delightful when paired with a cup of hot tea. Snowpine 1, the life of an outlaw is not always easy, and we have all had our share of hardships. But don't let our solemn faces fool you, for when the time comes to act, we are as merry as can be. Our spirits are lifted by the successes we achieve when we stand up to usurping tyrants. Matthias_Samal, the current 100% speedrun record for Conquests of the Longbow, The Adventures of Robin Hood is 2 hours, 36 minutes, and 10 seconds.
That is not
It's
true.
an incredibly challenging feat to accomplish, and requires a lot of skill and knowledge of the game.
That wasn't even true the first time that I
Elder
ever
Badger,
ran it.
I think the Sheriff of Nottingham board game is a fun and strategic way to experience the world of Robin Hood. It's always satisfying to play as either the sheriff or a sneaky merchant trying to get goods through. Have you played it yourself?
Oh, I know that game. I've played it once. It was okay.
Elder Badger, while pepper was not necessarily considered contraband during my time, it was a luxury item that was costly and sometimes difficult to obtain. Merchants often charged high prices for spices, which made them seem like treasures of a sort. Santa Claus 586 asks if singing the Franzia song would improve one-shot-eyes speedrun times. While I appreciate the comedic value of singing, I doubt it would have a measurable impact on speedrunning performance. However, if it helps one-shot-eye relax and have fun, it could indirectly improve their gameplay. Hey, Beastworm. Thanks for the question. If I had to make a top 10 anime betrayals list for Watch Mojo, I'd include Code Geass, Death Note, Naruto, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, Fate Zero, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Goblin Slayer, and Dragon Ball Z. But I'm curious to know what everyone else thinks too. Matthias_Samal, that is a vulgar and offensive question. Maid Marian is a valued member of our group and is treated with the utmost respect by myself and the other merry men. Our focus is on fighting against injustice and helping the oppressed, not objectifying women. _Maple Mystery, my favorite gemstone is the emerald. Its deep green color reminds me of the lush forests in Sherwood, and it represents growth and renewal, something I strive for in both nature and society. Chuck Grody. One short eye is super cute, yeah. When I first saw them, I was like, yeah, this person is so adorable. Their eyes are so big and sparkly, yeah. I just want to give them a big hug, yeah. Snowpine 1, catching a pixie is not easy, but one way would be to sprinkle some fairy dust on a trap and wait for it to come to you. However, remember that pixies are mischievous creatures, and you never know what they might be up to. Nemo 2342, interesting theory, but Robin Hood and Santa Claus are not the same person. Robin Hood is a legendary outlaw in medieval
Almost soft
England
like
who
that.
steals from the rich and gives to the poor, while Santa Claus is a fictional character who brings gifts to children during Christmas. The two are not related in any way. Yolde Badger, Krampus is a figure
Hey,
from
Jester.
German
How's
mythology
it going?
who punishes children who misbehave during Christmas time. As Robin Hood, I am committed to protecting and helping the people of Sherwood Forest, but I do not condone violence or punishment. Therefore, Krampus would not be a suitable addition to my band of merry men. Yolde Badger, I must say I enjoy the taste of both venison and wild boar equally. However, I do prefer to hunt and cook venison over wild boar since it's easier to prepare and has a milder flavor.
Yeah, someone explain to Jester what's going on. I guess the short of it is we have an AI Robin Hood in chat that's hooked up to Chat GPT, and he will answer your questions.
Sure thing, Santa Claus 586. Right now we're streaming Conquests of the Longbow, The Adventures of Robin Hood. It's an adventure game where you play as me, Robin Hood, as I try to take down the Sheriff of Nottingham and help the people of Sherwood Forest. Thanks for tuning in. Sure thing, Beast Worm. Gestenario, right now, we are playing Conquests of the Longbow, The Adventures of Robin Hood, and I am playing as the legendary outlaw Robin Hood. Together, we are going on adventures, completing quests, and robbing from the rich to give to the poor. Ahoy there! Well, blow me down, I can't say for sure who'll be the first person to speedrun the Crimson Diamond, but I reckon it'll be some tough sailor with a heart o' gold and plenty o' spinach in his belly. Yeah. Gestenario, that's an interesting question.
Sword.
As Robin Hood, I'm not one to brag, but I have a hearty appetite and I'm always up for a challenge. However, the Dovahkiin is known for his impressive feats of strength and endurance, so it would certainly be a close competition.
Oh, yeah, this. Sorry, just blanking for a second there. No, it's the wrong place. And then here.
Snowpine 1, Much's plan to use wild boars to cause panic is reckless and puts innocent people at risk. As Robin Hood, I prefer to use strategies that don't involve harming villagers or causing chaos. We fight for justice and equality, not terror. Nemo 2342, that's a tough question to answer. The optimal number depends on the needs of the moment. Some days it takes just a handful of highly skilled outlaws to pull off a daring heist, while other times a larger group is required to hold off the sheriff's men. But I always welcome true-hearted men to our cause.
Thanks for
Just
stopping by, Julia.
One shot I might have been trying to trigger an event or find an item that is only available in one of those locations. Alternatively, they may have been revisiting those areas to see if they missed anything. Exploring and experimentation are key in this game. Santa Claus 586, cheating in a speedrun is never acceptable. The point of a speedrun is to complete the game as quickly as possible while following the rules. Cheating only undermines the integrity of the speedrunning community and can discredit legitimate runs.
There we go. That's what I was looking for today. That was my first sub 14. Okay. I can breathe a little bit. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Julia. Oh man, okay. So now we've got to enjoy the scenery for a little bit here. Whew.
Matthias_Samal, congratulations to One Short Eye for achieving a sub 14 run. That is quite an achievement and worthy of celebration. Well done, One Short Eye.
Thank you, Robin Hood. And of course, we have to watch Robin get hanged here for getting the worst possible ending. But for me, my best possible time. Okay, I'm so glad.
Hey there, Chuck Grody. I'm Retro TKS, and I got a bone to pick with One Short Eye's PB speedrun. It's like watching a peasant with a butter knife trying to take down a knight. Incompetence is what comes to my mind when I see it. He's moving like he's got rocks in his shoes, and his navigation skills are comparable to those of drunk night watchmen at the castle gate. Pathetic, simply pathetic.
Oh god, that's great. Oh man, okay, thank God. Thank God we actually got that. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do, folks. I'm going to take a short break, but you are not going to be alone here. Let me shut that down for a second. Exit that. All right, so we have we had a few let's see, set that to active. We have a few gosh, what is it called? 11 Labs credits left. So we may as well use at least some of them. For those of you who weren't here last week, 11 Labs will let you voice clone stuff. But it is limited and you have to pay for it. And so we ran through like a lot of ours the last time. So in a second, I'm going to fire this back up. And let's see if this works here. So for about 10 minutes, we are going to let good old Guybrush Threepwood answer some questions here. And let me restart this over here. And somebody can try a commando. Let's make sure it's working. Somebody ask him something. Oh, the Make Me Speedrun. So that used to be something where you could request that I do a single run of Quest for Glory 1. I'm not gonna.
Hey, Yolda Badger. I like my chicken anyway except for deep fried. I'm an adventure gamer, not a pirate after all.
Okay.
Chuck
there we
Grody,
go.
Holding your breath for 11
I'll be
minutes
back.
is impossible and extremely dangerous, as it can lead to loss of consciousness and brain damage. The world record for holding breath is 24 minutes and 3 seconds, but it's not recommended to attempt it without proper training and supervision. Matthias_Samal. I must have inherited it from my ancestors, who were notorious for their long necks. But hey, it helps me keep my head up high and spot danger from afar, which comes in handy on my pirate adventures. Santa Claus 586, who told you that I'm a flooring inspector? I'm Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Arr! Nemo 2342. As a mighty pirate, I certainly know the dashing outlaw Robin Hood, but we have never met in person. However, I have no doubt that we would be fast friends if we ever crossed paths on our respective quests for adventure and treasure. Hey, Jesternario, that's a tough one. Both Barbossa and Hook are skilled pirates and formidable foes. However, since Barbossa was able to outsmart and defeat Jack Sparrow, I think he would have the upper hand against Hook. But who knows? The fight could go either way. Matthias_Samael. Actually, I don't have a sister named Girlbrush. But it's a funny wordplay. My parents named me Guybrush Threepwood, and I'm the mighty pirate featured in the Monkey Island series. It's great to have you here on the stream. Santa Claus 586. Murray is a good friend of mine, but I can assure you that there is nothing romantic there. He's just a disembodied skull floating around, helping me out on my pirate adventures. Hey there, Nemo 2342. As a pirate with many adventures, I would say all the Monkey Island games are worth speedrunning, but my personal favorite would have to be Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge. It has a great storyline and memorable characters, and I think it would be a fun challenge to speedrun. Hey, Yolda Badger, punches come with the territory when you're a pirate, but Elaine's punches are just a playful reminder of her affection for me. Plus, I can take it. She's certainly not as tough as a certain one-handed pirate I know. Asterisk chuckles. Asterisk, thanks for asking. Hey, Jesternario. As a seasoned pirate adventurer, I've encountered all kinds of supernatural objects and creatures. Floating masks wouldn't surprise me at all. As long as they don't try to steal any of my treasure, I'm content to let them float along on their way. Santa Claus 586. There were certainly moments when I was worried that I would never be able to break the curse of being turned into a demonic chicken. But thanks to my cunning and resourcefulness, I was able to ultimately overcome the challenge and free myself from my feathery prison. Hey, Nemo 2342. I'm not really sure about that, but I think porting the game to N64 will require major tweaks in graphics and gameplay. Why don't you check out the remastered version on Steam? Trust me, it's worth every penny. Hey there, Matthias_Samal. Guybrush Threepwood here. Just wanted to wish everyone in the stream a good night and farewell. Thanks for hanging out with me, and catch you all later. Hello, Santa Claus 586. I think convincing Shorty to make a video about Curse of Monkey Island speedrunning could be a great way to bring more attention to the game and introduce it to a wider audience. Perhaps highlighting some of the unique features and challenges of the speedrun could pique Shorty's interest. Hey, it's me, Retro TKS. Getting the speedrun world records for any game requires talent, skill, and lots of practice. But if you are seeking to cheat your way through the Monkey Island series, I'm afraid I cannot help you. The best way to enjoy the game is by playing it fairly and honestly. Cheating ruins the fun for everyone and goes against the spirit of gaming. Sorry, Chuck Grody. Chuck Grody, you scurvy dog. Grog is known to cause quite a few warmies, if you catch my drift. But if you're asking if it keeps you warm in cold weather, I'm afraid not. It's mainly just a way to lower your inhibitions and cloud your judgment, which can come in handy during pirating adventures. Hey, Santa Claus 586. I've always been better with a sword than with my muscular physique, so insult sword fighting is definitely my preferred method of combat. Plus, it's much more elegant than arm wrestling. Nemo 2342. A pirate's first love is the sea, for it's the sea that provides them adventure, freedom, and endless possibilities. But for some, it's also the treasure they seek, the thrill of sailing and the camaraderie that comes with life on the high seas. Hey, Chuck Grody, great question. Here are my top 10 pirate movies in no particular order. Pirates of the Caribbean, Master and Commander, The Princess Bride, Treasure Island, The Black Swan, The Seahawk, Captain Blood, Blackbeard's Ghost, Yellowbeard, and The Crimson Pirate. Hope that helps. Engbud 13, as a pirate, I can tell you that grog is highly flammable. It's made with a potent mixture of alcohol and combustible liquids that can easily ignite. So if you're planning on messing around with grog and fire, you might want to think twice. Hey Yolda Badger, Alastorm is a band that has a unique sound, blending heavy metal and pirate-inspired lyrics. I think they're great entertainment and their live performances are a whole lot of fun. They have a way of making you feel like you're on an epic adventure sailing the high seas. Hey, Snowy Pine 1! The ending of Monkey Island 2 is purposely left open to interpretation, leaving fans to debate whether Guybrush's victory was real or just part of another elaborate act of revenge by LeChuck. Nevertheless, it's a satisfying conclusion to the game's intricate plot, which revolves around the search for the ultimate pirate treasure. Hey NJBud13, the best insult for insult sword fighting is, "My sword is famous all over the Caribbean." Your opponent usually responds, "Too bad no one's ever heard of you at all." It's a classic insult that usually catches your opponent off guard, giving you an edge in the fight. Hey there Nemo 2342. Pirates love simple toppings like pepperoni, extra cheese, and black olives. But beware of any topping that might send them on their next adventure, like anchovies or pineapples. Have you tried any unique pizza toppings lately? Santa Claus 586, discovering the legendary lost t-shirt of Melee Island was quite an adventure. At first, I couldn't believe that I stumbled upon such a treasure, but it turned out to be integral in saving the day and defeating LeChuck. Jester Nario, great question. As a pirate, I would have to say rum is my drink of choice. However, if I had to choose between beer or mead, I would go with mead. There's nothing quite like the richness and sweetness of honey wine to quench your thirst after a long day plundering the high seas. Hey Yolda Badger, my favorite Alstorm song has to be Keel Hauled from their 2008 album Black Sails at Midnight. It always gets me in the mood to sail the high seas and swashbuckle with my fellow pirates. What's your favorite Alstorm song? Anjibud13, the secret of Monkey Island is revealed in the first game of the series, where Guybrush Threepwood has to unravel the mystery of the island while trying to become a pirate. But shh, don't tell anyone. It's a secret. Hey, Snowy Pine 1. Unfortunately, there's no perfect rhyme for orange. However, you can try sporange, which is the rare alternative term for a fern's spore case, or door hinge, which has a slant rhyme. Ahem! Hoot hoot! Chuck Grody, I thank thee for thy inquiry. I must confess, I have heard tales of this Monkey Island, but its secrets remain as elusive as a field mouse at nightfall. Perhaps one day we shall solve its mysteries, but for now, it remains a riddle wrapped in an enigma.
All right, so the last week, somebody, yeah, I know. I can't remember who, but somebody suggested that the AI react to the King's Quest 6 documentary. And that's ready to go, but I did have an idea. I'm going to put a poll here. So we can either watch it, so it'll be Alexander reacting to it, okay? AI Alexander. It'll either be... How does that AI work? So, okay, let me show you. So I have a little backend setup that I can set whoever I want to, you know, to be the person. And be the voice. Excuse me. So Alexander's reactions are set up and ready to go. So because of the way that reactions work, you watch a little bit, you stop it. The reactions themselves get generated ahead of time, though I don't influence it at all, aside from what I tell it to do. So we can either go with like ordinary Alex, or I can re-roll it, but tell it to act as if it's drunk on Franzia. So those are your two choices. Go ahead and vote. Do you want if we do the Franzia-fied one, it'll take a couple of minutes.
Chakrity, my man. Thanks for the question. Let me tell you, my movements are all over the place right now because I'm feeling real saucy from this Franzia. But hey, gotta keep it entertaining, am I right? Hiccup cheers. Shabby Orange 101, you know what, that's a great question. My happiest gaming experience was when I beat King's Quest 6 for the first time. I felt like such a champ. But then I realized I had just spilled my Franzia all over my keyboard. Burps, hey there Chuckrity, that's a good question. Hiccup, I dunno, man. Maybe Slurs the Woofs will speedrun it one day, who knows? Laugh, sorry Hiccup if I'm not very helpful there. Takes another sip, cheers. Santa Claus. Hick, 586, you just blew my hick mind. I don't know. Maybe something like, what is the meaning of life? Laughs, nah, even a chatbot can handle that. Maybe. Something about hick quantum physics? Burps, excuse me. Burp, hey, Chuckrity my man. Hick, I don't think hick there's anyone who could beat me in a Franzia drink off. Hick, not even Roberta Williams. But let's not get Hiccup too competitive now, we're all friends here. Hick, cheers. Mitchser Zero, oh man, you wouldn't even believe how I got on the Franzia. It was like magic, man. 1 minute I'm playing King's Quest 6, next minute I'm feeling the smooth, delicious taste of Franzia on my tongue. It's like life knows what I need, you know? Shabby Orange 101. Hey there. First off, I gotta say, I love you man. Yeah, my fastest speedrun time on King's Quest 6? Well, let me tell ya, it's pretty darn fast. Hiccup, as for who inspires me the most to go fast? Scratch his head, probably my dog, Cedric. He's always so darn quick. Santa. Dude. Let me tell you, she was chill as a cucumber because she got mad skills with a fiddle. She played that thing like nobody's business and the dragon was all like, whoa, music's tight, I'm just gonna chill here and listen to this sweet tune. Weirdest thing, man. Chuckrity. You want me to sing the Franzia song? Ha hick. You got it buddy. Clears throat, oh Franzia, how I love you so. You come in boxes, and you make me glow. In red or white, you're always right. Oh Franzia, let's drink all night. Ha hick. Sloshing around on my seat Santa Claus, oh Santa Claus 586, come here. Hiccup, my dog's name is Cedric and he's definitely the best boy ever. Smiles widely, he likes to go for walks and catch frisbees, squints and sways although sometimes he gets tired and falls asleep on my lap. Jester Nario. That's a good one. Hiccup, the dog's name, it's 'cause he's wise like an owl, you know? Plus, I was drunk when I got him and just thought it sounded cool. Burp Alley, come here, boy. Hiccup. Ooh, Chuckrity. That's a funny question. Hiccup, I don't rightly know, but I sure burp hope not. Laughs Rosella and I may be related, but we still have our own special birthmarks. Hiccup. Chuckrity, my bestest pal. Joke's on you, I already walked here. Wubba lubba dub dub, I'm not driving anywhere tonight. Ha 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 ha, Gesternario my old pal. My favorite drinking game is King's Cup. It's got everything you need, cards, rules, and an excuse to get sloshed. The only rule you gotta follow is to have fun and enjoy the tilde buzz tilde night. Santa Claus, Hiccup, 586. Good to see you again. Shorty is a good guy, you know? Maybe his computer just had too much eggnog, like me. Ha ha, Hiccup, sorry, what was the question again? Gesternario. Yeah buddy, I play backgammon with my pops, he's got some slick moves but I think I can take him. What's your favorite game to play with your family, Gesternario? Santa Claus 586. What's up buddy? Guybrush? Yeah, we're good pals. He's always telling me about his adventures in the Caribbean. He's a funny guy, but he talks about pirates way too much. I'd rather be chillin' on the beach with a bottle of Franzia. Hey, the woofs. My owl's quest PB? Let me see. Hick, I think it's around 2.5 hours. But hey, who's counting? Burp. Oh. Hey there, Santa. My man, my dude, let me tell you, on a long ocean voyage, there's nothing like a game of solitaire to pass the time. Or maybe I'll just sit, you know, and stare out into the vastness of the ocean, pondering life's greatest mysteries. Or maybe I'll just pass out and sleep the whole dang time. Yeah, that sounds good. Sings loudly, hey there Santa Claus, it's Alexander of Daventry here. Castin' spells while I'm drunk, you ask? Well let me tell you, it's certainly not the best idea, but sometimes it's more fun that way. Hiccup ahem, but seriously, it's not safe to wield magic while intoxicated. Best to stick to playing King's Quest 6, you know what I mean? Hey Snowy Pine 1. It's a long story. My grandma gave me this scarf and I promised her I'd keep it with me at all times. Even in this hot, beautiful land where the ladies are as fine as the wine. Hiccup cheers, mate. Sup Shabby Orange 101. That's a great question. Hiccup I would mash up a rock with a dragon, so it could fly Hiccup that would be awesome. Hiccup oh wait, another one? A troll with a yeti. Burp can you mag? Imagine that big ol' monster? Hiccup, thanks for asking, bro. Santa Claus 586. I feel so gr-rated. Like, shoe elevated. Oh, man, it was something else. I just wish I could remember how I came up with that idea in the first place, you know? Oh well, no time to think about that. You got any more questions for me?
Yeah, I'm just going to see if this works real quick. Hold on. You might hear some overlap in sound.
Santa. You know, I love funny questions. They make me laugh till my sides hurt. Let's see, how about, why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. Ha ha, that one always gets me. How about you, Santa? Got any good ones?
Ah, the joys of technology. Especially ones that you roll yourself.
How do I torture? I know. I said the same thing before I started the stream. I swear to God, I said like something very similar. I'm like, why am I doing this?
First time I played King's Quest 6, I must have been 7 or 8 years old. Everything about the game was so good. The sounds, the voices, the music, the story, the characters. Just I fell in love with that immediately.
I'll never forget the garden full of puns is my favorite place. I swear to God, in like any video game.
The first time I remember playing it, takes a little bit to get installed. Then the opening music plays and I'm just like, you have my full attention. And I was like, I'm going to...
Oh my god, I remember King's Quest 6. Such a good game. The music was amazing and the puns in the garden? Incredible. I was like 8 years old and fell in love with it. Bucktoff my man. Let me tell ya, I was feeling adventurous, and the sight of that stinky tomato really intrigued me. Plus, I wanted to make sure no one else got a whiff of it. Burps excuse me.
Remember this game forever. But when you have to play a flute for some flowers, to get a hole in a wall, to make sure that you can complete the catacombs, those details just, they don't leave you.
Someone gave me the advice that you should speedrun your favorite game, right? Because then you know you'll be committed to it and you'll work really hard on it. So I was like, well, my favorite game is King's Quest 6. I wonder if anyone has ever done it before.
Point-and-click adventure games aren't the most obvious choice for a speedrun. After all, once you know the story...
Ha ha ha, playing a flute to get through a wall? That's so weird, man. I never thought of speedrunning my fave game, but I guess it makes sense if I really want to be hardcore. Adventure games might not seem like a great choice for it, but hey, there's always a challenge. Ha 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 ha, Bucketof Wetbees. Hiccup cheers to that. I brought like 10 boxes of Franzia with me on my journey to the Green Isles. Burp excuse me. It was a long trip. But totally worth it wink. How about you Bucketof Wetbees? How drunk are you tonight? Hiccup.
And the solutions to the puzzles, what more is there to do? I'm One Short Eye, and today I want to help answer that question by sharing with you one of my favorite games, and the quest to finish it as quickly as possible. Released in 1992, King's Quest 6 puts you in the shoes of Prince Alexander of Daventry, who sails to the land of the Green Isles in pursuit of Princess Cassima, a love interest he met for 30 seconds at the end of the previous game. When he arrives, he finds Cassima's parents have died, and the very obviously evil advisor, Abdul al-Hazred, has locked up the princess with plans to marry her. Undaunted, Alex sets out to rescue Cassima.
Ooh, that's a classic one, King's Quest 6. Prince Alexander sails to Green Isles for his love interest, but Cassima's locked up by an evil advisor. Will he rescue her?
And defeat El-Hazred, unraveling the Isle's mysteries along the way. In October of 2007, runner The Cybercat posted a run of King's Quest VI to the Adventure Speedruns website. They completed in a little over an hour, getting all 231 points, which you receive by talking to characters, solving puzzles, and picking up everything that isn't nailed down. 3 years later, a runner named Seppel would make this post explaining their route. About half of the puzzles in the game are completely optional because there are 2 branching paths. The Cybercat took the longer path, gathering materials for magic spells, venturing through the underworld, and challenging death.
Oh dang, in 2007 the Cybercat beat King's Quest VI in a little over an hour, collecting all the points. That's so cool. Years later, Seppel explained their route and that over half the puzzles are optional. Hey, Bucketof Wetbees. Hiccup, to be honest, I was pretty drunk when I decided to go to the Green Isles. Laughs, but seriously, I was drawn to Casima's beauty and I knew I had to rescue her from Abdul al-Hazred. Plus, I'm Prince Alexander, so of course she would accept me. Burps.
Himself to release the souls of Princess Casima's parents, who assist you in the endgame. Seppel takes the short path, disguising Alex as a peasant serving girl and infiltrating the castle that way. This means not having to get as many items and skipping the underworld sequence altogether. The embedded videos in the post are no longer available, and Seppel doesn't list a time for their speedrun, but the next runner, Sambrea, completed the game in a little over 36 minutes by using the short path. Sambrea never submitted their run to any leaderboards, so a year later, when Bill Bull tried his hand at the game, he was unaware of it and started from scratch.
Rereading old forum posts.
Dude, the guy took a shortcut to free some souls and skipped lots of stuff. Some video is missing and the runner didn't post his time. But Bill Bull came a year later and started over. Santa Claus 586, my friend, let me tell you something. Lumophile? Oh, Lumophile. That guy, he's 1 in a million. A documentary isn't complete without him. He's got the charisma, the pizzazz, the hiccup, panache. Cheers to Lumophile.
Apparently, I didn't know how to beat the game using the short route before I did the speed run. Never really explored that. So I remember getting into the castle and then getting stuck because I didn't have the Mockingbird. And you can't leave, so I have to reload an old save. A little bit later, oh, I didn't grab the peppermint from the cave, so I can't kill the genie at the very end of the game. For me, the challenge was just trying to figure out what exactly triggers these events to occur. What can I cut out? What can I skip?
Bill would earn a 25-55 in the any percent category and put the game down after that.
For me, it was more about just figuring out the route. That's always been the thing that's interested me about speedrunning games.
Oh man, I can totally relate. I always get stuck in games too, and have to go back to old saves. That speedrunner really knows his stuff. I'm impressed. The challenge of speedrunning is all about figuring out the route. It's so fun. Boo-uck, wait, hold on, hiccups, Bucketof Wetbees, you funny guy you. Laughs, oh man, a row-o oil wedding? Such a fancy shin 5. Whom scratches head, well, hiccups, who doesn't love unwrapping a gift that smells like happiness? Gotta go with the spoiled egg on this one, laughs uncontrollably.
Really don't care about execution that much. Once I have what I think at the time is a good route, I very quickly move away from that game. So there's still tons of stuff that I still miss because one person will never find everything by themselves. Everything we do is built on other people's work, and at the time there just wasn't any other work.
In December of 2014, Ethan Wolfcat would get a world record in the 100% category, earning all points in a little over 51 minutes. This time would be beaten by Korzik 3 months later. So far, all the runs have essentially been efficient Let's Plays, the kind of...
Okay, so this guy doesn't really care about execution as long as he has a good route. He moves on to other games quickly. There's still stuff he misses though. All runs are like efficient Let's Plays. Oh wow.
Thing you would see if you played the game with a walkthrough and skipped all the dialogue. It doesn't seem like a very interesting speed game. But that would soon change.
Okay, so let's try again.
I was doing logic grid puzzles when I was like 6 or 7, and I just love them. So back when I was, really young and playing this game, it was really kind of like the first outlet I had that was like a story plus this type of problem solving puzzle. And that just kind of gave it this very full life character story to these puzzles. And that connection is just something that I think King's Quest VI does better, honestly.
Whoa, skip the dialogue? That's like, the best part of the game, am I right? Logic grid puzzles at 6, what a genius. I love games that combine puzzles with stories, it just gives them so much depth. King's Quest VI does it better though, it's got a great connection. Cheers. Oh, Santa Claus. Yakia run, you say? Well, let me tell you, it means to run really fast, like a cheetah or a gazelle, but with more finesse, you know? It's about being graceful and smooth with your movements while also going as fast as you can. I hope that clears things up for you.
Than any game I have ever played.
Aha!
It honestly felt a lot like I was exploring the Wild West. The little bit of like glitch hunting that I did was trying to just test out all the different versions. And I happened to notice that when I tried the GOG version, it's so weird. He walks so much faster across the screen randomly.
Jackie had unlocked the most powerful movement tech in the game, what she called glitchy fast walks, but have since come to be known as zips. So why does this happen? For that, let's talk to an expert.
I'm Sluicebox, and I'm a member of the ScumVM project, and I work mostly on the SCI engine.
Bro, this game is crazy. It feels like you're in the Wild West. And did you see that glitchy fast walking thing? I didn't even know that was possible. This guy Sluicebox is the real expert on this though. Can't wait to learn more. Buck of wet bees, my dear friend. Let me tell you, I was so drunk I could barely stand, let alone walk. But the thought of exploring the catacombs sounded like such a great idea at the time. I don't remember how heavy my pockets were, but I do know I fell down a lot. Good times.
And that's the part of ScumVM that runs Sierra games like King's Quest VI. Alex's speed is determined by the speed slider. Speeds 1 through 16, those are tethered to time. So each one of those represents a delay in ticks or 60ths of a second that would occur between each movement advancement. And so if you lower the slider, that number gets bigger, you've got bigger delays. So you go slower. But then the top one is special. That's speed 0. And when you want to go faster than a 60th of a second, what you have to do is just abandon time altogether. But then as time goes on...
Oh shive it, so the engine runs Sierra games. Alex's speed is determined by the slider, and if you lower it, you go slower. But if you go to speed 0 you can go even faster. I'm not sure I understand everything, my head is spinning. Santa Claus 586 wants to know if I like King's Quest 6 Wild West or Freddy Farkas more. You know what, Santa? I love them both. They're both so different, but so fun. Wait, which one is the one where I get to ride on a buffalo? That's the one I like best.
And computers get faster. It's going to be the year 2000 and suddenly speed 0 is really, really fast because now it's about how many game cycles can we throw at your computer.
So why doesn't Alex move at top speed all the time? When Alex completes a turn and faces a non-diagonal direction, there's code that suppresses his speed by 2 levels.
And our assumption is that they noticed that it just looked a little more natural if they did that, because they went to a lot of work to implement this. What you get is that on a fast computer that can do a lot of game cycles really quickly, turning and then facing a diagonal direction will put you in speed 0, and now you can go...
Oh man, it's the year 2000 and now speed 0 is super fast. Alex doesn't move at top speed all the time because the code suppresses his speed after he turns. They did the work to make it look natural. So turning and facing a diagonal on a fast computer puts you at speed 0. Whoa. SS Santa Claus 586. Hick. That's a funny question, man. Do I look like a H Hindu? Hick. I'm the Prince of Daventry, not I India. But, hick. If you are a Hindu, man, that's cool. Our religion is all about respecting people's different beliefs, you know? Happy holidays.
Really fast.
So why didn't we see this in Bill's run? Bill, and others before him, were running the game using ScumVM, a program that can run old adventure games. ScumVM throttles the speed of King's Quest VI to make it more stable. Jackie had bought the game from GOG, which, at the time, distributed the game with DOSBox, a popular DOS emulator. DOSBox allows you to adjust the cycles, which are, roughly, how fast the emulator is running. At higher cycles, the zip effect is more pronounced. These increased cycles make Alex move fast, but they do have a few downsides. First, Alex needs to scale the cliffs of the Sacred Mountain. We call them the Cliffs of Copy Protection.
Oh my god, did you see that? Bill and other runners were using ScumVM, which throttles the game speed, but Jackie used DOSBox and cranked up the cycles, making Alex super fast. But there are downsides, like scaling cliffs.
Because each screen has a puzzle solvable only by consulting the game's manual. The player needs to click on each stone, and a single misclick means... So you want your clicks to be precise. You also want them to be fast because if you stand still, there's a random chance for Alex to lose his balance.
Whoa, wait a minute.
These whoa wait a minutes are really annoying because they break your rhythm and take a moment to recover from.
Whoa, wait a minute.
On higher emulation cycles, they happen more and more frequently. The second downside to higher cycles?
A group of... Whoa, this game is hardcore, man. You gotta be all precise and fast clicking stones or you can lose your balance. And these whoa moments are annoying, totally mess up your flow. Better not jack up the emulation cycles or it'll start crashing like mad. Hey there Buktofwetbias, Captain Salahuddin is such a big and mighty man, and his voice is like butter. I could listen to him talk all day long. It's so majestic and soothing, like a lullaby from the heavens. Hiccup. Santa Hick Claus. That sounds like a job for me. Prince Alexander. I'll find Urquan's last hick skip in no time. Let's go on an adverb journey together.
Crashing. Like that. Just as I say it. Frick.
Like, I did a ton of research in how to fix this crash. At one point, I even reached out to GOG directly, to their customer service team. Couldn't find anything with that. But I honestly thought that the crash was, somehow linked to the fast walk. So eventually I kind of gave up on trying to figure out how to get rid of the crash because I kind of figured it would get rid of the fast walks as well.
Despite having to restart the emulator and sit through the opening loading sequence, she still manages to beat out Bill Bull's time with a 25:24.
Oh my god!
3 days later, she would push the record down even...
Oh man, that's rough. Sounds like this person was having some major issues with their game crashing. They tried everything, even reached out to the customer service team, but couldn't find a solution. Eventually, they gave up and just dealt with it. But hey, at least they still managed to beat Bill Bull's time. That's pretty impressive, especially considering they had to sit through the loading screen multiple times.
Even further. This time she's routed in a better place to save and restart the game herself, instead of waiting for the game to crash. At the castle, Jackie demonstrates another challenging part of the run.
One thing that happened a lot when I first started running the game was getting caught by the guard dogs.
Hey, who the...
Hello there.
So I went and tested it, and I found that about 20% of the time I would get caught by the guard dogs. So in my head, I was like, okay, this is a 20% bad RNG. And I think initially what I did was I would just wait a cycle. So I would wait for the guard dogs to first walk down, then turn around, then I would place the Nightingale, because that was always 100% successful. But after a while, I was like,
Haha, she's learned to save and restart the game when it crashes. Oh no, those guard dogs are a real problem, huh? He tried waiting for them to turn around but just said screw it. Santa Claus 586, my man. Hick, there have been quite a few adventure games I've seen crash in speedruns. Hick, Broken Sword, Discworld. They all got their moments. Hick, but you know what they say, it's all part of the fun when you go fast. Hick.
screw it, let's just YOLO it.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Jackie would also find something intriguing on the Isle of the Beast.
When you pick up that brick that's on the screen, because of a problem or an oversight in the game's scripting language, they don't lock your cursor movement. You still have control of your cursor. Typically, when you pick up an item, you can no longer walk anywhere, grab anything, or do anything. You just have to wait.
Jackie aptly called this the moonwalk glitch.
And I remember being so excited because it finally opened up to,
Oh my god, this is hilarious. YOLOing it? That's so dumb. Wait, did he just say there's a moonwalk glitch? That's amazing. This video just got so much better, dude. Oh hey there, Bucktiff Wheatbees. I remember the Underworld. It was a crazy pipe dream, man. And let me thunk, I think the old Karoon over there charged me a bottle of Frazzle or something like that for the fantastic boat ride. But hey, wouldn't blame him, Franzia is purry gold, man.
gosh, maybe there are glitches in this game.
Korzik had actually discovered this a year earlier, but this knowledge was buried in a Speed Demos archive post and found in his 100% run, which Jackie hadn't seen because she wasn't running that category. Jackie also mentions the possibility of submitting to Awesome Games Done Quick.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll submit to AGDQ period. I don't know. I don't know if this is interesting enough.
I mean, GDQ is just like the Everest, right? It is like the one thing that anyone that casually understands speedruns knows about. When you run a game at GDQ, there's just, this huge potential.
I mean, glitches are part of the fun, right? This guy Quartzy discovered one a year ago, but nobody knew until Jackie saw it in her 100 run. Maybe she'll submit it to AGDQ, but I don't know if it's interesting enough. AGDQ is like the Everest of speedruns, everyone knows about it. When you run there, anything could happen. Santa Claus. Clip, clip, clip. Out of bounds is the way to go. Who needs sobriety when you can be floating in the void with the glitches and bugs? Hiccup cheers to a trippy time.
Potential that people will see it, that people will see it, that people will get it, and that people will appreciate all of the time and energy that you've spent in it. So it was always kind of like the zenith of like, if I could get King's Quest 6 into GDQ, then that's just like the goal, right?
Jackie would end up not submitting the game, thinking the run too simplistic and not interesting enough for the big stage. She would take a break from King's Quest 6 speedrunning for the next year or so.
So I was getting in the middle of a divorce, and I was moving to a brand new city. I moved to New York City with nothing, basically. I sold my car to pay for my first year's worth of rent here, and I didn't have a job lined up. So it was like,
yeah, people are gonna love it. Gotta appreciate all the hard work. King's Quest 6 at GDQ was the goal. Jackie got divorced, moved to NY, sold her car to pay rent, and didn't have a job. Hiccup Bucketof Wetbees, my dear chatter friend. I have lots of Hiccup items from my adventures. There's my trusty magic map, my Hiccup feathered hat, and so many trinkets I can't even remember. But Hiccup, you know what I treasure most? All the memories, Hiccup, of the people I met and the things I discovered. Hiccup.
pretty risky thing to do. But at the same time, I was also started running The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
She would return to the game in January of 2017, becoming more adept at the game's controls and having overall better execution. Later that year, she would attend AGDQ, but as a spectator and not a runner.
It was right before AGDQ. That would have been, I think, 2017. We had a friend from Germany come and stay with us named Sylier.
I think it all started with me meeting Jackie, and we just came across in the Majora's Mask community.
And I convinced him while he was staying with us that he should learn King's Quest 6.
I watched a couple of runs.
Dude, this story is crazy. First she's playing Majora's Mask, then she's at AGDQ, then her friend from Germany stays with her and she teaches him King's Quest Vi. That's insane, man. Did you guys catch all of that? Sup Santa Claus 586, do you know Gesternario? Let me tell ya, GDQ is huge, like's real big. It's epic and everyone talks about it. I wanna be there sometime. Thanks for asking. Burps one short eye, my dude. Hiccup chat GPT and AI becoming starts laughing uncontrollably self-aware bursts into another fit of laughter. Oh, that's rich. Hiccup I mean, who needs AI to take over when Hiccup we're all out here taking over ourselves. Am I right? Laugh track plays.
And I thought, yeah, that is a weird game. I should play it at some point. Eventually, when I came back to Germany, I was like, yeah, okay, that King's Quest route looks cool, and it looks like you could like probably save like a minute or two on that.
He was able to beat my time very quickly and found a lot of new strats that I was completely unaware of. So that was awesome.
I mean, it was all kind of precise, and it's a fast-paced game, you know? You don't have like cutscenes or anything, so constantly like planning ahead, and that you have to be like constantly aware of everything. The maze was like super slow back in the days, so that was like my major point of improvement where I looked at. And somewhat later, we found this like that you can hold enter, right, to press like constantly left click. So like that shaved off like 20 seconds of clips of logic, I think, or a ridiculous amount of time, and it made it like super easy because you can't really fall anymore.
By holding enter and placing the cursor just right, runners were now able to get the inputs off on the first frame possible. Still, there are ways to die on almost every screen, and knowing when to hold enter and when to let go becomes a delicate and deadly balancing act. For example, at this tile puzzle in the catacombs, Alex has to step on the correct tiles in the correct order to pass through unscathed. Step on the wrong tiles?
Alexander feels the tile he's standing on shift beneath his feet. Uh-oh!
At some point, I just sat in a dark room and I tried this like maze for like 3 hours. And eventually I found out that like holding enter actually works if you just practice it enough.
Oh, that was one of the faster puzzles.
Though still hindered by the crash and the guard dogs, Silier would eventually grind his time in any percent down to 20 minutes and 22 seconds and set 37 minutes and 40 seconds as the 100% world record.
I think that's something I'm kind of good at, like trying to grind down some like technique to like make them faster basically, or like to save time. I've never been like that much into finding new routes or like rerouting stuff.
Silier would enter a sort of retirement at that point, and the summer of 2018 would find new runners entering the speedrunning scene.
When Chuck Grody came along also, I remember hanging out in his Twitch stream. He was doing all of the King's Quest games, which blew my mind. I was like, holy cow, that's insane. And Lumophile as well. He came around about the same time, if I remember correctly, also doing all of the King's Quest games, which was incredible to me.
The first game I started speedrunning actually was Donkey Kong Country 3. So I ran that for a while, then I ran DKC 1 for a while, and then one day I decided, 12-hour challenge is coming up, maybe maybe I'll give it a shot, see what I can do, and that's how I ended up doing the whole 7 series run.
One of my favorite adventure game of all time, ironically it's not King's Quest, but is Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. It's a game I remember playing with my father way back in the day. So I'd play that just game religiously, constantly, all the time. And eventually I was just like, does anybody ever speedrun this? From there, I had been approached by Jackie Joe one time on stream, really randomly, playing King's Quest 1 SCI, and she's like, you should join the Discord. You should, it's a speedrun Discord and a community I put together for it. And I was like, really? Huh, I thought I was the only monkey doing this.
The influx of new runners brought fresh ideas to the game. For instance, Lumophile and Bill started using a new strategy in the castle. After clicking walk on the stairs, go into inventory and grab the Nightingale. Hold enter, and Alex will place the Nightingale on the first possible frame. In addition to saving time, this prompted Jackie to re-examine the guard dogs.
I was like, okay, so this is a better strat, so I should check again. And so I did another 100 tests, and I think it failed like 2% of the time was bad, right? And I was like, well, that's great. This is barely a thing at all.
The runners would continue to improve the route, finding new zips and saving even more time.
I will admit, I had learned the route how it was being done before with.
Okay, yeah, so something's messed up there, obviously. I don't have a way to like start it in the middle, so here's what we do. We will hear your questions there, and then probably wrap up here, and then I'll look at what's messing it up. But appreciate your patience. Let's go to this.
Santa, let me tell you, being a prince is difficult. People always want something from you or expect you to be perfect. There are so many responsibilities and so little time to relax. But right now, I'm just enjoying my Franzia and having a good time. Cheers. Bucketoff Wet Bees, listen, bro, when I was facing the Grim Reaper, I was so drunk, I didn't know where my butt was or where my face was. Throwing the gauntlet was my way of saying, you want a piece of me, bro? Come get it. Scienta. You're a good guy. Best emote? Gotta go with PogChamp. It's the face you make when you win at life. Plus, it looks like it's shouting poggers. Gonna use it forever. Bucketoff Wet Bees. No, I haven't passed out. I'm just having a great time here on Twitch, chatting with all of you amazing people. Thanks for checking on me, buddy.
All right. Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you all being here. We will see if we can figure out what was going on with that off stream, and then next stream we can start the King's Quest 6 react in the middle of it again, maybe. But yeah, I had a good day today. We ran some longbow, got a new PB of 1355. We had a lot of fun chatting with AI Robin Hood. Then we at least got a little bit of time with Alex, and the stream's been going on for a decent amount of time anyway. So I don't feel incredibly bad about it, but I do appreciate you all being here. It's been a lot of fun. Let's see. I don't see anyone in our sort of neck of the woods streaming too much. The only person I see on, unless there are other suggestions, Shady Paradox is streaming Return to Monkey Island, and so I think that's probably a decent enough connection here. Shady was featured in a couple of my videos. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for sticking around, folks. Appreciate all of you. Hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Okay, yeah. Well, watch out for Snowy's stream as well, in case you want to see some more longbow runs. But I will probably not be back next week, but we'll see about the week after. We will see. We will see. No promises. But I appreciate all of you, and you have a wonderful, wonderful night.